Well, immediately after the announcement of Trump's indictment, a lot of things happened that many people were not aware of. And so in today's broadcast, I am going to bring attention to what is going on behind the scenes. And I believe it's of utmost importance. But before I do, just a quick reminder, check out my sponsor at lisahavengold.com. If you have not secured your finances, now is the time to do that, especially in light of the second and third largest bank runs that we have ever had in history, and they happened just this past month. Thousands of people have approached Noble Gold Investments to secure that wealth with gold, and you can do that by going to lisahavengold.com. And with every approved plan, they are now giving away this 5-ounce American the Beautiful coin here that you see on the screen. But fill out the information and get your free Ultimate Silver and Gold Guide. And by the way, there is always a risk to invest, and there's no guarantee of any kind, but give them a call today at the number on the screen. You want more information? Click that more button or click in the description box below. All right. So let's first dive into what happened just before Donald Trump's announcement on his indictment. And how about the fact that the DOJ announced that they would go after more January 6ers? Take a look here. Here's Bloomberg.com. DOJ told court to expect a deluge of new J6 prosecutions. In other words, we're going to go after them even more hardcore and go after these J6ers. But what they failed to tell you is shortly thereafter, we're also going to indict their leader, Donald J. Trump, the former president of the United States. Now, after Donald Trump was indicted, there's a lot more things that happened. One of those being straight up persecution of a journalist from J6 there. Take a look here. And this is on the epictimes.com. Journalist says the Department of Justice is now targeting him for his aggressive post-J6 commentary. Yes, you heard that right. Independent journalist Steve Baker says he was recently warned that his aggressive reporting and commentary about January 6 has created growing ire at the U.S. DOJ that could lead to his prosecution for being at the Capitol on that fateful Wednesday in 2021. Since J6, Baker, 62 years old of Raleigh, North Carolina, went through 2 hours of FBI questioning and faced the looming specter of being added to the list of now more than 1,000 January 6 criminal defendants. So here we have an independent journalist purposely being targeted by Biden's Department of Justice just because they can, and right after Donald Trump's indictment. As a reminder, and I've been stating this a lot, this is not just about indicting Donald Trump. This is also about sending a message to his supporters that you will be next. This is not only an intimidation tactic, this is a tactic saying you will be next. And that January 6th reporter was one of those next people after Donald Trump's indictment. But you know what? He wasn't the only one. There was also a memer who has just been found guilty, and I've been covering this in detail, but now he has officially been found guilty and is facing 10 years in prison for daring to post a meme about Hillary Clinton. Take a look here. This is on BreitbartNews.com. Conservative social media influencer Douglas Mackey has been officially convicted of election interference. Conservative social media influencer Douglas Mackey, also known as Ricky Vaughn, was convicted of election interference in the 2016 presidential race after posting a satirical meme on Twitter. Mackey, who is being accused of trying to deprive individuals of their constitutional right to vote, was convicted on Friday by a federal jury in Brooklyn of the charge of conspiracy against rights, the federal government announced. And by the way, that conspiracy against rights, they had to go back to a law back during the civil rights movement in order to make this case at all and to get it up to a 10-year potential sentence. And again, he was just convicted on Friday after Donald Trump's indictment. And as I said before, the conservative meme maker is now facing a maximum of 10 years in prison. And just because I can show you this, I'm going to show you this, but he is now he could potentially get up to 10 years, but he has been found guilty. However, when a person on the other side does the exact same thing, they have yet to be arrested at all or charged with anything. Just to show you proof on that, here it is. Greg Price put that up. You can see the meme from Ricky Vaughn there. This is the meme. He said, avoid the line, and he showed that. That is the meme he is going to jail for, right? But here is the one on the left, who she says you can skip poll lines, election 26, text to vote. So basically, she did the exact same crime, and yet this woman is not even going to jail, not even facing any kind of jail time or facing any kind of criminal activity. So it was okay for the left to do it, but not okay for the right. Again, Trump's indictment is not about just persecuting and going after Donald Trump and indicting Trump. It is about sending a message to you, the American people, and Trump supporters that they're coming for you next. If not, why didn't they go after the other woman for the crime, right? We're talking about a similar message here, but that's not all. How about, on top of everything, the Biden administration is also denying Christians the ability to come here to the United States of America to save them from the Communist Party. Again, this is sending a message after Trump's indictment. Take a look at Real Clear Wire. 63 Christians are now facing deportation back to China. And it goes on. The group of refugees, including 35 children, more children than adults, 28 adults, fled to China in 2019 to escape persecution. They initially sought refuge in South Korea and then Thailand while seeking emergency asylum in the United States. But the U.S. State Department and Department of Homeland Security have declined to grant the church members emergency asylum, as it has done for many others, including tens of thousands of Ukrainians fleeing their war-ravaged countries. They were allowed here. Also, the group of Afghanistan airlifted into the United States amid the chaos U.S. evacuation in 2021. So the Biden administration here is saying, hey, it's okay. We'll accept people from Ukraine. We'll accept people from Afghanistan, but screw you Christians, screw you. That's what he's doing here. For months, human rights and religious freedom activists have warned the State Department that Thai authorities have a history of working with the Chinese government to draw Christian nationals out of hiding, arrest them, and send them back to their homeland where they will face imprisonment, torture, or worse. Now, the very scenario they warned about has happened. It has taken place. On Thursday, Thai police raided the residence where the 63 refugees, again 35 children, were staying and 2 Americans were visiting. They arrested the group, fingerprinted them, and detained them in a holding facility. Bottom line, after all of that happened, the Biden administration remains silent and still will not let these Christians in. Ever wonder why the Biden administration barely even or didn't never even uttered the word Christians, or his heart went out to the Christian victims of what happened during the Nashville shooting. He never once said, I'm sorry for the Christian victims that this happened to. No, he went on and said, I'm sorry for the transgender community, the guy who shot up the Christians. Not one word. And then here he is saying Christians are not allowed in our country. We're talking, again, 35 children and 25 adults who are trying to run out of communist China because they could be tortured, jailed, imprisoned, and worse. And Biden says, nope, you're the wrong political side of the fence. Again, they're not after me. In Trump's words, they're after you. They're after you. But you know what else? The DOJ did nothing during, a Capitol insurrection in Tennessee, going by the left's own decisions. Take a look, or definitions, Here's the Federalist.com. After years of J6 fear-mongering, left-wing activists stormed Tennessee Capitol while the Department of Justice stays silent. And by the way, this was in and around the same time as Trump's indictment. And not just Tennessee Capitol, the Kentucky Capitol was invaded as well. 2 of them right around the same time. And by the way, if you want information on that, I did this entire report on Restricted Republic where I get into detail on it. Alert, Trump indictment being used as a cover for this. Right now, go to Restricted Republic, watch that video, take advantage of our special offer. By the way, use that word Trump to get it for $5 per month for that entire first year. Watch that video. It comes with the 14-day free trial, so you can cancel it whenever you want. But I really dive into the nitty gritty there. On top of it all, here's an interesting twist. This persecution on a massive scale isn't just happening in the United States of America after Trump's indictment. No, we are having people like Emmanuel Macron getting emboldened to go after his political dissenters. Take a look here. And this is on zerohedge.com. French woman faces $13,000 fine for Facebook post calling President Macron filth. Emmanuel Macron, you are filth. You are filth. You are filth. How about that? I'm in America. I'm going to say it. The incident occurred when the woman referred to Macron as filth in a Facebook post. If found guilty, she could be slapped with a $12,000 fine there. And jail time is currently not on the table. But this is what she wrote on her Facebook post. This piece of filth is going to address you at 1 p.m. It's always on television that we see this filth. And for that, she's getting this massive monstrous fine. Seems like there is a lot of corruption going on. Speaking of corruption, did you know that federal money was used by Alvin Braggs to go after Donald J. Trump's indictment? Take a look, BreitbartNews.com. So much is going on, folks. Bragg confirms federal funds used in Trump probe, bolstering GOP investigation. Oops. Not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. How about this corruption as well? The Gateway Pundit. Chief investigator at Manhattan DA's office, Susan Hoffinger, previously donated to Biden and other Democrats. There should be some kind of recusal there, but that's not going to happen because we're talking more conservative Republicans. One justice system for you, another for them. Again, it's not just about indicting Trump. Not just that. It's about sending a message to you. And by the way, they're going to attempt, according to Trump there and his lawyers, they're going to attempt to put a gag order, an unprecedented gag order on Donald J. Trump. Breitbart, Manhattan judge to put gag order on Donald Trump. It goes on. A source close to the legal team told Daily Mail the judge will take an unprecedented step to silence the 2024 presidential candidate. The gag order will potentially undercut his ability to campaign on the issue of legal corruption during the primary. And by the way, if he breaks that gag order, he'll be slapped with a $1,000 fine as well as potentially 30 days in jail. Whoa. Doesn't seem right? But either way, New York City has went ahead and given him a date, and Donald Trump says he's going to be there for that date, at least according to Donald Trump. We have Fox News. Trump confirms he will appear in court in New York City on Tuesday following his indictment. So he's saying he's going to go to court on Tuesday following his indictment. He is also saying he is going to give that same day, later on in the day, he's going to give a speech in Mar-a-Lago. This is on the Gateway Pundit. President Trump announces he'll deliver remarks Tuesday from Mar-a-Lago at 8:15. So early that day, he's going to be in New York for the indictment. And later that night, he is going to be giving a speech. Well, I can't wait to see what he's going to say. Either way, I'm going to keep an eye on all of this. There are so many things happening. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.